We're going to get in a conversation about the election that's coming up. We're not going to tell you who to vote for. We're just going to talk about the candidates and what they represent to our country. And do they have a foundation from the Constitution of the United States? Do they have a foundation from the Constitution of the United States? Do they believe in law and order? Do they believe in self? Do they really believe in helping the people or helping the big corporation? And we're just going to have a little talk about that because the election is right around the corner.
It's really an important election that I hope everyone has already went out and voted. And if you early vote, you don't have to worry about those long behind lines. We actually did early voting, and this was the first time that Dad and I didn't have to wait long. The first time I hadn't had to wait in a long line. You've always early voted, right?
Yeah, always. I believe in early voting. Always.
So it was real simple this time around. I was very impressed with just having to go in, do my vote, and walk out. That was real easy.
I haven't missed a voting year since I first got my vote registered as an official voter. Never missed not 1 year not voting. I believe in voting.
Yeah, it's important, and a lot of people don't understand that even if you don't like the presidential candidates, that you should at least vote for your local office, like your local judges, who's running for the local government. So I believe in voting too. My son votes. Everyone in my family casts a ballot. So it's important in order to let your voice be heard and to have people that's going to support your interests. So,
well, you think about this. Back in the days when women didn't have rights, women was burned at the stake. Highly intelligent women, that could change the system or add to the system. They were treated terrible. Think about the rights of every citizen here in the United States. Just think about all those things. Think about the Jim Crow era. Think about the rights of the union
workers.
Yeah. And think about the future of our country. What direction do you want our country to vote? The people that say, "Hey, I'm not going to vote," don't come in my face and talk to me. That's a non-burner, But please go out and vote, whether it's you're going to vote Republican or you're going to vote Democrat. Vote. Keep in mind, you are voting for the rights of the people, and you are voting to uphold the Constitution of this United States. Everything have a foundation. So.
And everything is so polarized right now. It's so bad. I mean, there's a level of insanity I feel is going on in this country where everybody's in each other's face, just kind of like battling. And it's really, you can really, really see the level of toxicity that's going on because of this election cycle. Mm-hmm. And I personally felt that our country has been brewing up in this direction where there's a lot of extremist groups that's going on and a lot of mean-spirited behavior. Like, to me, there was an underbelly class of it, but now it's on the surface and it's so in your face. It seemed to me that started, for me personally, like to really, really see it, started in 2016.
Yeah, I was born in segregation. I know how segregation was. And it was a terrible time in my people's life. Also, I was born in Jim Crow, and it was a terrible time in our lives. So as a nation, we have to be one in order to go forward. We can't go back. If we go back, this will be a downfall of the United States. And we just can't go back to the good old days, those so-called good old days. You know what I'm saying? There were no good old days. Maybe a good old days for some, but for the majority of people, it was hell on earth. And if you don't believe me, go and pick up the history books. Go to YouTube and see the different marches. And you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And I didn't experience that level of racism that my dad experienced in regards to, like, with his mom having to take him off the sidewalk when someone white walks by on the sidewalk and being called the N-word, like right in front of his mom as a little child. I experienced other little stuff, but nothing compared to my parents, and nothing compared to my grandparents and my great-grandparents. So I've been lucky enough to hear about some of the abuse that took place from my, great-grandparent that had lived through that, great-grandparents that lived through that age where women didn't have rights that they do today, and that there was not the type of rights that Black people have today in regards to equality and being able to live in a certain neighborhood, work, and provide for your family. I mean, their stuff was just a lot. It was really abusive. So I didn't go through that, but my dad did. And I think that there's people today, the way that they're talking, they want it to go back in that direction. And who has time for that? Most people should be focusing on just trying to get things in order and being productive enough to feed their family. Because this economy is jacked up and everybody is feeling it. I mean, everybody. You can't even get decent housing, even in these beat up apartments. People are paying extra, like, crazy prices in order to live. And let's not even talk about what's going on with the food prices. So why do you have time to hate? Like, what is that about? Why would you want to bring that climate back to today? That's, like, to me, ridiculous.
When back in the 50s, we were called colored people. And we went from being called colored people, Negroes. Then we went from Negroes to African America. Then we went from African America to Black America. Each one of them eras, people thought that the world was coming to an end. But see, man think he got control of everything. He doesn't. He don't. I heard. I watch from time to time. I listen to different scholars, and they was talking that the Earth is moving from the third dimension to the fourth dimension. And you can take it or leave it, or whatever that means. And these negative forces, if they don't watch out, they're going to be left behind. But that's on them with the karma. That's on them. But we have to do what's right, not only for ourselves, for the next generation. There's a whole lot of Republicans and Democrats. You say, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. There's a whole lot of people that, my friends, that I agree with sometimes, and I don't agree with. Sometimes I think I know a whole lot. I know the right way to do something. Then my friend will come along and tell me, say, hey, Theo, this it don't work that way. You could do this easy way to do it. Suppose he was a Republican. Because he's a Republican, I'm not going to listen to what he got to say. On this planet Earth, we are family as one. I hope that we get to that level. That justice prevail all over the world. Justice. We don't have to have no more wars, We don't have to have all this negative discrimination because of something that's different from the other person, I hope we get to that point, that we could be universal man and universal woman. That's what we're made of. All the elements in our body are made of the universe. So I hope we get to that point.
Right. And I hope we don't allow these people that's supposed to be in leadership roles to continue to divide us as people. We should know better anyway. Most of us are well read, know about history, know what it is when these tyrants get in government. We know about rhetoric. We know that the news media can be used in a very harmful way to persuade people to act towards violence. We know that leadership in government, while some of them are living in their nice mansions and houses, they're still doing things that cause harm to people that are not able to have those type of financial resources. So why would we allow them to stir the pot to cause us to hate each other? It doesn't make any sense to me why we're falling for what they say, Beverly Hills Cop, for the banana in the tailpipe. Like, why are we falling for that? You know, we're sound-minded people out here, aren't we? So I'm a little confused about that.
We talk about leadership. Let's think about this. In order to be a dentist, you have to be qualified for a dentist. You can't buy your way to be a dentist. If you want to be a lawyer, you just can't pay your way to lawyer, fake to be a lawyer. You got to be qualified to be a lawyer. If you're going to be a leader, you have to be qualified for a leader, not to be paid under the table to be a leader. We have to get away from that. We have to get qualified people that represent all the people, whether they're Democrat, they're Republicans, or they're independent. We have to get people that is qualified for the job, not being paid under the table.
By these billionaires and these corporate funded candidates.
You remember I ran across on 60 Minutes a long time ago, Japan, these multi-millionaires built a project, a whole lot of apartment buildings for all the Japanese people. And they want to overprice the people for these apartments. The Japanese people got together as a unit and boycotted the apartment builders and bankrupt the investors that built the building. We have to start thinking along that line. If the person is not doing the job, let's get them out of office, you know what I'm saying? And get somebody in there new to work from the basis of the Constitution of the United States. It carries all, whether we Republican, Democrat, or independent, or whatever, carries to the next level. We don't want nobody in there that's all for themselves, Hey, I got diamond rings on, I got me a nice car, I got me a nice airplane, I got this and that. We don't need that. We need somebody there to represent all the people.
And that's not going to steal from the people, too.
Yeah. We got to take all that in consideration. But we're going to have some popcorns that night. Popcorn, probably something.
It's going to be like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, right? It's going to be a good fight. We're going to watch the whole thing. We're going to stay up. We didn't stay up for bringing in the new year. Yeah. We tried to do that, but we're going to definitely stay up and watch how this presidential election turn out. It's kind of historic. You need to actually participate in this process and do your part to determine how you want this country to move forward. So we did our part already, and we hope that if you're still sitting down at home and you're thinking of not voting, don't do that to yourself. Get out there. I think on both sides, we may not have the perfect candidate, but you have options, and get out there and vote for the best option at this point. So Dad and I, we're going to watch it. We're going to watch this whole thing play out. And then after it's over, guess what we're going to do? Get back to work.
Thank you. And another thing I'm looking at from the perspective, which candidate going to represent the Constitution of the United States? And which candidate is mostly for the people of the United States? Them are the two things that I'm watching for. You know, and so that's it.
Yeah. So, like we said, get out and vote. And we're definitely staying up, watching minute by minute, second by second, all the different polls, all the different scenarios. We like to jump in and watch a little bit of CNN here, a little bit of Fox News here, a little bit of MSNBC here, and see what everybody's saying to determine how things are really going to play out. But we'll be watching it we're taking a day off to watch the whole thing go down.
One more thing. Y'all tell me how y'all like my bald head. This bald head.
Did y'all know Dad was bald under the hat?
Bald head.
When he first got here, we was like, Dad, guess what? You gonna have to do the bally scully. You're going to have to cut it all off and then do the old school. What's the name? Isaac Hayes. Old school Isaac Hayes and the bald head. So he was down for it, and I'm happy for it. I like the way he looks. He looks really good. Yeah, it's a clean, good look. But, yeah, this is all we really want, just kind of like talk to y'all about it. Don't let this election and the news media and everything else, don't allow it to drive you crazy to the point that you are so focused on hatred that you're not getting out there and being productive and doing the things that you're supposed to do to keep your family healthy. And that's mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and keep them like fed. You know, that's what your objective is, regardless of whoever's in office.
Yeah, and find a friend to go with you. Find a friend to go with you.
Oh, you're talking about old school, take a friend to vote.
Oh, yeah. Always find a friend.
What's the church slogan?
Oh my God,
I forgot. Something to the polls. I can't. Like right after church service, how everybody get together and go right to the poll station.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely do that kind of thing
get
too.
Through voting, they have a dinner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you do that, and then, like I said, regardless of who wins, we still got work to do.
I'm sure we're going to have some popcorn.
During the process.
Yeah, hey. Probably have the little baby sitting there. She don't know what the hell going on. You know, hey. Eat it. Probably have to eat it there. I know Soraya, she's going to be there until she falls asleep. I don't know what Jamie and Zion plan on doing, you know. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you took the time to hit like and subscribe. We enjoy sharing this moment with you. And don't forget to go out and vote and carry a friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.